Hi, I'm Sumit Lakhotia and you're watching Supertech Presents Real Estate TV. First, a look at this week's news updates on the real estate sector. The controversial real estate bill that seeks to regulate the realty business was put off on Tuesday indefinitely after united opposition insisted on sending it to a select committee of parliament in Rajya Sabha, where the ruling NDA is in a minority. The real estate amendment bill was listed for consideration and passing. However, as the opposition members objected, Housing and Poverty Alleviation Minister Venkaiah Naidu assured the House that the bill will only be presented after consultations with various parties. For more than 50,000 apartment buyers in Noida who are hoping to take possession of their completed home soon, the wait is likely to get longer. The Environment Ministry is yet to take a final call on how far the boundary of the eco-sensitive zone around the Okhla Bird Sanctuary will extend to. It was decided late last year that the eco-sensitive zone around the sanctuary would be redesignated, shrinking it down to 100 meters on 3 sides, where several real estate projects are impacted. The Environment Ministry was to notify the draft notification that would allow the Noida Authority to start giving completion certificates to builders, but there have been no significant developments yet. The aftermath of any natural calamity leads to the awareness of customers, which results in them asking for information from their respective builders. There is a need to create increasing awareness on the risk perceptions from the safety point of view for each of the cities. It should be noted that out of the 648 districts in the country, more than 200 are multi-disaster prone, reports internet portal Magic Bricks. Even as the country faces a shortage of 19 million houses, around 10.2 million completed units are lying vacant, which can be absorbed under the rental housing program for weaker sections, according to property consultant CBRE. According to the Ministry of Housing and Urban Poverty Alleviation, Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Bihar, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka and Gujarat constitute about 76% of this urban housing shortage. India's largest realty firm DLF is likely to raise about 3,600 crore rupees this quarter through the issue of securities backed by its IT SEZ as part of its strategy to replace costlier debt. DLF also plans to launch its first Real Estate Investment Trust or REIT this fiscal to monetize its commercial assets. However, the company was waiting for the Securities Appellate Tribunal judgment on the SEBI order banning DLF from accessing the capital market for 3 years. That's all that we have time for this week. Up next is our showcase story on the Yamuna Expressway. This 165-kilometer long, 6-lane controlled access expressway, which connects Delhi with Agra, is not just about cutting travel time, but there is a bigger picture in the making. The Taj Expressway project was conceived with the idea of reducing the travel time between Delhi and Agra way back in the year 2001. This 165-kilometer Yamuna Expressway project was completed by the JP Group in 2012.
It's the biggest, longest highway of the country.
165-kilometer long expressway was made and inaugurated in 2012, August 2012. This was developed by concessionaire JP Associates.
Getting the arterial infrastructure going was just the first step in the journey towards the desired planned urbanization for this region.
If we look at the process of urbanization and urban spread in large developed countries around their mega cities, you will find that people drive 1.5 hours or 2 hours from the downtown also for their to the place where they live.
Connectivity is extremely important. Wherever, if you look at any transport connectivity, be it metro, be it highways, the property prices in those areas have gone up because it provides that extra supply, provides people that opportunity to move to cheaper locations and live a better quality of life.
Eventually, real estate sells where there's connectivity and where there are job opportunities, where there's a ease of travel from work to home. Yamuna Expressway is actually going to be a feeder corridor for the DMIC. Today, you have that road up and running, and I think it's the best highway across the country. You don't have such a road anywhere in the country.
Yamuna Expressway Industrial Development Authority was established in 2001 under an act of UP government. And this is basically constituted for giving access for joining Delhi to Agra by a shortest route.
Noida Expressway is a long project. It's a project which connects Noida to Agra. And on the both sides of that, there is a planning for various kind of services like residential, industrial, institutional, large colleges, night safari. We already have the Formula One Budh International Circuit. So it's a destination of future where already a lot of action is happening in terms of more affordable housing. If you want to look for apartments for less than 30 lakh rupees, I think it's a great location.
As far as the infrastructure is concerned, I think one of the best infrastructure available entire India, you can say in Yamuna Expressway. In terms of distance, just like we go to the foreign places, foreign country, they always give you the distance in time, 25 minutes drive, 30 minutes drive. And if you see that only 25-minute drive from the Kalindi Kuch. In terms of the distance, in terms of the infrastructure, road, Greater Noida Expressway and the Agra Expressway, no red light is there, only you take 25 minutes to reach the Yamuna.
The Yamuna Expressway cuts down travel time between Delhi and Agra by half. It is equipped with the latest technologies to ensure that the transit is safe and effective. But to achieve all this and urbanize it further, land acquisition was the first hurdle.
Land acquisition is one of the most critical and widely talked about, and I think one of the most difficult aspects of the entire real estate piece. In fact, clearly we divide real estate into two parts. One is the land aggregation piece, one is the development piece.
Land is the raw material for what we do. So therefore, if land acquisition is becoming so difficult and so cumbersome, there is going to be a challenge. There is going to be a short supply of land. And when there is a short supply of land, naturally whatever stock there is in the market, it will keep appreciating in value. It will be sold at much higher prices.
Land aggregation is something which I think, like Noida Authority was always perceived to be very good in it, but we saw the cases and we've seen that the model has fallen through. So I think somewhere the government needs to at the center and the state level, because this is again a subject which falls under federal as well as state government level.
We have acquired some 12,000 hectare land for different land uses. This includes housing, this includes industry, this includes amusement sector.
Yamuna Expressway as an authority, I think one of the richest authority in terms of the land bank. And especially after the Land Acquisition Act, I think no development authority or the government is able to acquire such a huge land, because Yamuna Expressway Authority has a plot more than 1,000 hectares each plot.
We are trying to purchase land directly by negotiating with farmers. The compensation rate is very handsome amount they are giving us compensation. And we are also giving some developed land for Awadi sites. It's a 7% developed land to the farmers for the Awadi sites.
The F1 racetrack has put the Yamuna Expressway on the world map. However, concerns on sustainability and viability cannot be ignored.
Yamuna Expressway, I think very nice infrastructure, but just basis the F1 track is not going to make a real estate development really populate.
I would say it won't take 2 decades or 1 decade. I think the minute the DMICs becomes not operational but becomes begins, the work begins on the DMIC, opportunities will start emerging on this location.
Any big tourism industry or any big manufacturing industry wants to come to that place, the basic thing is the land. If Yamuna Expressway Authority is able to give that land, I think that is a game changer for the entire NCR region.
The first driver would be the DMIC. The next driver would be your, I would say, good industrialization, which the Yamuna Expressway Authority is already talking about. I think you'll hear some news very soon where they'll be announcing some big manufacturing units being set up over here. And the third, of course, is the airport. So these things will happen in due course, and when they do, you'll see a lot of demand in this side of town.
See, the total area of this authority is around 2,65,000 hectares. This is a very big area. So we have planned to develop this area in phased manner. We have, in first phase, we are taking about 23,000 hectares in Gautam Buddha and Gautam Buddha Nagar and Bulandshahr. Then about 12,000 in Aligarh. Then 10,000 in Agra, Mathura and Hathras.
The real estate around the expressway is not going to boom just because it is a expressway. That boom and that increment we've already seen in the past years. Now it's about habitation happening here, which will, enhance the value now.
Yamuna Expressway Authority has announced this industrial area in their master plan. They are coming up more than 1,000 hectare area, which will they are planning to give the industries, and this development is the only along with the Yamuna Expressway.
Urbanization takes a good 20 to 30 years. If we think today that Gurgaon is a very well-developed pocket, so Gurgaon has taken 30 years to reach where it is. Noida has taken 30 years to reach where it is. Yamuna Expressway is a very new phenomenon. It's hardly 3 years old right now in terms of when one has started to see action of creation of housing stock and institution, etc. You have to give it, you have to see it in a 7 to 10 year perspective.